Dear ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let us thank to God who has given us hope and brings us from darkness to brightness. And also thank you to all the audiences who have given me this precious time so I can stand and speak in front of you now. Well, in this opportunity, I'd like to convey a speech about developing Indonesian culture and tourism. But before I start my speech, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Desi as the representative of Kartini Vocational High School, Batam. The honorable adjudicators, dear ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by informing you that we are now facing the modern era that's full of challenges. We as youth generations have no choice except to be brave in facing the challenges. All of us know iPhone or Samsung Galaxy Note, but do you know what Rimpi dance is? Yes, it's one of our cultures from Central Java. As we know, Indonesia has a lot of tribes. From these tribes will later form a different culture from one another. But how many tribes can we mention? Perhaps the answer will be counted on the fingers. Ironic indeed. The cultures of Indonesia are stretching from Sabang to Merauke, which have dozens or even thousands of cultures as the legacies. Culture in this case is understood as a learned behavior and conducted by the group of people from the community. But unconsciously, some of our cultures have been claimed, such as Reok Ponorogo from Central Java and Pandat dance from Bali that appear in the commercials of the countries around us. This proves that we, as citizens, are less concerned with Indonesian cultures that should be preserved, but we ignore. So today, I will share to all of you about how to avoid the annexation done by foreign nations and how to develop our cultures by first, involving culture into education area. Education is an important aspect in life. We are, as students, also a part of education world. Therefore, education is one of the biggest distributors in developing our cultures. But let's take a look. Most students now prefer doing hip-hop dance or modern dance, but they do not realize that traditional dance is more interesting. So, we should start establishing the dance club or music club at school. Besides, school nowadays often organize study tours, which can bring a big advantage as well. By traveling to the places around Indonesia can help students see the fact that Indonesia has a lot of tourism destinations that we should preserve. Second is showing traditional attractions in order to invite young generations to know more about our cultures. By witnessing at how beautiful the arts are, they will be motivated to participate in culture itself. So, directly or not, it will help preserving our cultures. Ladies and gentlemen, my explanation shows how closely the relationship between the national culture of Indonesia and tourism. Culture, as one aspect of tourism, can be used as a potential in tourism development. Culture and tourism have a reciprocal relationship. If we have preserved our culture, then of course, Indonesia will be known as a nation with its beautiful culture. How if foreigners come to see our cultures? How if foreigners are interested in our cultures? This will give impact not only to the cultures, but also to the tourism itself. That's why, if we want to develop our cultures, we also need to develop our tourism. But how to develop our tourism? First, never steal any nature heritage. As we know, there are so many nature heritage stealing cases, such as coral reefs, sands, and many more. But why don't we imitate Japan? The citizens don't want to sell their cherry blossom to another country because they don't want others to have the same thing like they do. People come to Japan just to see their cherry blossom because they don't have one. And that's what makes Japan unique and beautiful because of the highlighted cherry blossom. Second is keep the cleanliness. If we have the clean environment, then of course people will be glad to visit Indonesia. Like Singapore, their government finds people who throw the rubbish away. So people in there are afraid and they become care about their environment. But most of all, nothing can be achieved, even something tiny, if we don't start from ourselves. So from my speech just now, I hope that there will be self-awareness inside of us. Please care of our cultures and help the survival of tourism in Indonesia. Let's be proud of our cultures. The honorable adjudicators, dear ladies and gentlemen, That's all that I can deliver. Thank you for your attention and good afternoon.
Covered a lot of, it's a big topic, and then you mentioned a lot of ideas. And then one of them is to increase the awareness of culture and education is to actually make dance club, music club in schools. Should that come from the students or mandatory from the school administrators?
Actually, in Indonesia, we have an organization which we know as OSIS. So I suggest to everyone here, especially the members of OSIS, we should start establishing something like Sanggar Tari or the dance club that support the traditional dances of Indonesia. So directly or not, it will help preserving our culture. Thank you.